Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. All right, that's a little better. It is a good morning, and it's today the first day of spring? Tomorrow, that's right. The 22nd, 21st. Listen, I don't know what day it is, but I'm here, and thank you for being here. So we're going to call to order the March 19th, 2026 meeting of the Board of Commissioners. Note the presence of all three commissioners, and I'm going to ask Sarita to lead us in the pledge. Sorry to put you on the spot, but if you could stand and lead us in the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Great. All right. So we know that March is Women's History Month. At our last meeting, we honored women who have been elected to represent their communities around Montgomery County. And this morning, we wanted to turn the spotlight to women that are entrepreneurs in our Montgo business community. With us today are women who are impacting our local economy and bringing flair and flavor to our main streets. My fellow commissioners and I will introduce each of them, and we'll have everyone come up for a group photo after every name has been called. So I will start. So first is Design Treasures. Design Treasures. The owners and founders of is it Designated Treasures? Design, okay. Design Treasures, Brianna and Trevor Walls, keep standing, and Anna Mae Curran. Design Treasures is a family-owned gift store in Norristown that's been in operation since 1984. So thank you for being here, and let's celebrate Design Treasures. It says designated here for design. All right, and next up is La Radiance One Salon. Lorraine Douglas, owner of La Radiance hair and wellness salon in Lansdale. We heard a little bit about your salon in the back room. You are doing health and wellness tied to hair styling and care. So 10 years in Lansdale, correct? All right. Well, let's give Lorraine Douglas a round of applause. Thank you. Unleash Counseling. Annalisa Smithson, who owns Unleash Counseling. Annalisa, a licensed private therapist in Pottstown who uses creative techniques, including animals, nature, and art to help those overcoming depression and anxiety and addiction. Thank you for being here. It Takes a Village. Sarita Lusain, who I went to Norristown Area High School with, owner of It Takes a Village. It Takes a Village supports working families with reliable, structured after-school programming here in the Norristown area. Let's celebrate Sarita. Be Well Apparel, Amanda Phillips from East Norton, the best Norton, I must say, the owner of Be Well Apparel. Be Well is an online retailer specializing in adaptive apparel that's designed to make everyday life more manageable for those living with chronic illness and ongoing medical treatments. Thanks for all that you do, and let's celebrate. And then Holistics Coaching and Consulting. Whitney Hallman, founder of Holistics Coaching and Consulting, and remind me your daughter's name? Joy, and we have Joy here. Hi, Joy. Can you say hi to everyone? Okay. Whitney, who is from Pottstown, helps new parents, I wish I would have had you 5 years ago, navigate life with an infant. Her goal is to make the postpartum experience easier through mental health, advocacy, parental leave coaching, workshops, and integrative wellness. Thanks for all that you do, and let's celebrate with Nancy. And joy, and joy. So I'll turn it over to my colleague, Commissioner Makija, to recognize a few women entrepreneurs.
Thank you. We just got to meet everybody beforehand. I'll just briefly reiterate, it's inspiring to see all the amazing work that you're doing and how much you're contributing to all of our main streets. As Mr. Winder said, flair and flavor is something we appreciate and all of our residents appreciate. So I'm going to recognize 5 of the great women-owned businesses here in the county, starting with Copiway Chilean Bakery in Ambler. So this is Cote, Tapiam, Amiki. Thank you. Cote has brought an incredible selection of traditional Chilean pastries and cakes to Ambler. It creates a place where neighbors can find community and culture. And I'm just going to hold up one of those pastries, which looks amazing. As you can tell, everybody wants to try this. I don't know who I'm going to give this to. Maybe one lucky winner in this room will get it at the end of the meeting if you last. Next up, thank you, Cote. Thank you. Next up is King's Collar. Nancy Gold is here. Nancy is the owner of King's Collar Strip Makers in Lower Marion Township. She's been nationally recognized as a master shirt maker and founded King's Collar in 1978, which means that you are on your 47th year operating right here, and is the first woman to be recognized as such, as a master shirt maker. I think you said you're the first woman to be
first woman in the country. Yes.
First woman in the country to get into this program. And she's got a reputation for precision tailoring for people who, like our commerce director, Steve Forster, can't find a shirt that fits them because they're so tall. But maybe I got to upgrade from my Gap and J. Crew. So, but thank you, Nancy. Thank you. Next is Mod India and Sudha Joshi, which just opened about a week ago. Mod India is a restaurant that just opened in Lafayette Hill, and their first location was in Glen Mills. So congratulations, and I look forward to visiting. Next up is Lillian Oak Wellness Spa. Ko Chia is the founder of Lillian Oak. Please welcome Ko. Rose in Haverford just took over the business a year ago, and she's got a skilled team of licensed professionals providing treatments and wellness services where clients feel informed, confident, and cared for. So thank you, Ko, for your leadership here and supporting. Finally, for me, is Sweet Ashley's Chocolate and Connie Lawson, Limerick Township. Connie also is a member of the Limerick Board of Supervisors. And I just want to say, Sweet Ashley's is one of my go-to chocolates to thank people because they're always very happy and very annoyed when they've finished the entire box that I've sent them. But Connie pivoted from working in the pharmaceutical industry to creating quality handmade chocolates like their signature Schuylkill Mud, which we're all familiar with. But congratulations and thank you, Connie, for that. I'll just make one final point. I think it's amazing to see, Connie, you pivoted from pharma to running a small business, and we often don't recognize that while we have a lot of big businesses in Montgomery County that employ tens of thousands of people, small businesses are always the majority in terms of who's creating jobs. So that's something that we think about in our Commerce Department and all the ways that we can support you. So we look forward to seeing you all thrive and being there to help in whatever way you can.
Next up.
All right, well, thank you. As my colleagues have said, this is an amazing month when we're recognizing women. I think that we should be recognizing women every month. That's my personal feeling, but we're really excited to see everyone here today. This is a great tradition that we started last year, and we're growing, and it's the type of business, women-owned business that we have here today across Montgomery County just shows how diverse our county is and all the different types of small businesses there are. And I've mentioned before, I was a small business owner as well at one point. And I know how hard it is running your own business, and people don't, when you're in a small business, people don't realize you never turn off. You're going 24/7. You're always thinking about your business. You're dreaming about your business. You go to sleep at night, you're just thinking, dreaming, everything. You wake up in the morning, first thing you're thinking about is your business. And it's a dedication that is unique to a lot of individuals. But as Commissioner McKeisha said, majority of our businesses throughout the United States are classified as small businesses. They are the heartbeat of our country, and it's amazing to see you all here this morning. So I just want to start off. Unfortunately, my Therese Brittingham, who was on her way, I don't know if this is in the order, but she texted and she hit a pothole on the way, and her tire went. A pothole in Pennsylvania, who would think? Right?
It's not
Like, how could you not hit a pothole in Pennsylvania? But unfortunately,
not a county-owned road. Just
it wasn't a county-owned road. I won't say which 422 road it was. Oops. But she was very disappointed that she wasn't able to make it, so she hit it, and her tire went flat. So she was standing on the side of the road waiting for a flatbed to come and get her. But she is the owner of Keller Williams in Collegeville. I know that she has an environment where the way Keller Williams is set up, it's like a hub for real estate agents, and she has within her hub throughout Montgomery County over 300 agents, as well as having an operation in Atlantic City as well. So she's doing a phenomenal job and a great leader within the community. Also, we have Ava DeFlora. She's based out of Norristown. She owns a social media solutions company for small businesses called Salient Social Company. And it's great to see, how long are you in business now?
It's 1 year.
1 year. And you just out of college, 1 year? 22. So that's great to see you jumping into, your own business like that. And I know you're doing really well. And I think great things are ahead of you. So thank you for being here. And then my next up is Avery Chapman. I see her. She was standing in the back. There you are. Come on in, Avery. Avery is the owner of Sips and Berries, and it's an incredible smoothie shop in Harleysville. And you do breakfast and lunch, and you have all types of smoothies and other offerings. So when you're in Harleysville, make sure we stop by and see Avery. Her smoothies are incredible as well. So thank you for being here this morning. And I know you were running late to get here for serving your breakfast crowd. But we're really happy that you were able to make it and be here this morning with us. And then last but not least, we have Marina Katz. She's here from Abington. Marina is a Ukrainian immigrant who works as a personal injury lawyer, and she also is the president of the Philly Lawyers as well. She's an incredible community leader as well, and does an amazing job throughout Montgomery County and Bucks County and Philadelphia. So we want to thank you for being here as well. And then I have one more. Kathy Opperman, Empowering You Center. It's Empowering You Pillars of Light and Love, which they own So Much to Give, which is an inclusive cafe in Skippack. And what's really unique about what they're doing there is they're providing an environment or a cafe for students and older with special needs. And I believe you have 30 plus, over 40 employees with disabilities. And all you can eat Sunday buffet. Is that every Sunday or? Yep. So they're right on Ridge Pike. I'm sorry. Yes, it's Skippack Pike in Skippack, right in the village there. And if you haven't been, please stop in and support because it's a great cause. And it's really a nonprofit organization for the environment that they're providing. So if you're there, again, please stop by and all the businesses that we recognize today, if you're in the area, please stop by and show your support. And I want to thank everyone for being here this morning.
Great. So we're going to invite all the women-owned business owners up for a group picture. Well, there's a lot, so we can maybe, how do you want to handle
Some down here, some up here.
it? Two rows, some down here, some up here. How are you? Nice to meet you.
Yep, can you just do it on the other side?
Sure.
Maybe 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep going. Yep, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, on the other side. You can stay there. And then you 3, great. So 4 and 4. Yep.
Okay, all right.
Just scoot in. And then I do need everybody to step
We're going to
up.
step up a little bit.
Step up.
Stephanie, you want to scoot this?
Right.
That's okay. Let's step up. There you go. Sorry.
Get everyone?
Can we get tighter?
Vincent, can you see everybody? I think he's got everyone for a second. Good.
1, 2, 3.
Great. Thank you for being here.
That's what we wrote.
Thank you.
That's right. Yep, awesome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much. It's so nice to meet you.
All right.
That's the lady that is our
All right, we're gonna continue our meeting. Thanks, everyone. Thank you for being here. Thank you. That's my son. All right, we're gonna continue. Just a few more things from me. I'd like to welcome Mark Wheeler. Is he here? Mark Wheeler is our new Chief Information Officer to the Monco team. Mark has a strong track record leading innovation in data governance and AI integration in both the public and private sectors. He previously served as Director of Data Analytics and Artificial Intelligence for the federal government's Centers of Excellence, and also served the City of Philadelphia as Chief Information Officer. The board has continually worked to innovate our operations to serve our residents to the best of our ability, and we're really excited that Mark has joined our team. Next up, as we've mentioned many times in this room, housing security for our most vulnerable friends and neighbors is another major priority for this board. We recently celebrated the grand opening of a new short-term supportive housing facility in Lansdale, and we're proud to keep the momentum rolling as we break ground on our new Norristown facility next Tuesday, March 24th. Our team worked hard with local advocates to get this project approved at a zoning hearing board that went well into the evening last spring. And I want to thank our county team for the work that they did to get this project approved. So we're thrilled to see some of the fruits of that labor come to bear here in Norristown. And we're grateful to many of our staff, especially Kaylee Silver, who is a tireless leader on this issue. So we welcome you to join us as we break ground next week. Coming up next month in April is Earth Day. To mark the occasion, we're thrilled to announce our first ever sustainability marketplace. The marketplace will take place on April 22nd from 10 to 2 p.m. right behind us here on Sweet Street between 1 Montgomery Plaza and the courthouse. The marketplace will feature a carefully curated lineup of local vendors offering sustainably made goods, eco-friendly products, and locally sourced food. Attendees can shop from local makers and learn simple, everyday ways to incorporate sustainable practices into your homes and lifestyles. This event is open to the general public and free to attend. We are actively seeking vendors to participate. So to apply, you can scan the QR code on the screen, which is a little far for you to do that, or search for the Sustainability Marketplace on our website. Applications are due March 31st. I'd like to thank our Chief Sustainability Officer, Davy, for her leadership and her innovation around doing this event. So Davy, oh, there you are, hiding. Couple more things. Spring holidays. As we move through spring, we have a number of important holidays and traditions to recognize. I want to wish everyone a happy Easter, Eid, and Passover. I know that our Muslim friends and neighbors will be celebrating the end of Ramadan this weekend. I'll be attending an event tomorrow afternoon. Regardless of what you celebrate, the spring holidays share a common theme, and that's a theme of reflection and renewal. And we wish everyone who's celebrating in the coming weeks a joyful time with family and community. And then lastly, I have the honor of recognizing this month's Way to Go winners. These are county employees who have been recognized by peers for outstanding service to our county. First up, we have Yvonne Durham, an officer on our security team here. Yvonne, don't hide over in the corner. Come on in. Come on in. Yvonne's colleagues say she's great with people. She brings positive energy to her colleagues and the general public every day that she comes to work. Yvonne goes above and beyond her work duties and is truly a valued member of the team. So congratulations, Yvonne. Next, we have Lauren Fowle, who is not here, who is the lead developmental disabilities waiver coordinator. That's a mouthful in our Office of Developmental Disabilities with HHS. Lauren's colleagues say Lauren is constantly juggling multiple projects and coordinating with partners to help individuals and families understand their eligibility for medical assistance. She is thorough, dedicated, and compassionate, and always brings warmth and a sense of humor to the office. Next is William Billy Franklin, a correctional officer here in the county. He's not here today. Billy's colleagues say he is always hardworking and on top of his daily duties. He takes the time to take others under his wing and mentor them to do the job to the best of their abilities. And everyone says he's a great mentor. So congratulations to Billy. Next, we have Chad Moore, our payroll manager within the controller's office. Many people don't get to see Chad, but we know Chad does a lot of great work throughout the county Chad's colleagues say he frequently goes the extra mile for his colleagues to make sure their work is correct and timely, and he's constantly working to make our systems more efficient while keeping compliant within requirements. So congratulations, Chad. Thanks for all that you do. And last but not least, we have Jennifer Vedra, a senior district court clerk at the District Court 38-1-08. Jennifer's colleagues say she's hardworking, patient, and kind with everyone who comes in and consistently lifts up coworkers in a way that makes coming into the office really enjoyable. She is just an amazing head clerk. So congratulations to Jennifer and all of the Way to Go winners. And Yvonne, you are the sole person here, so let's come on up and take a picture.
All right. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
And just finally, before I transition over to Commissioner Makija, I want to acknowledge the report that came out yesterday about the Montgomery County Intermediate Unit in the Inquirer. The MCIU, I want to just clarify for our community, the MCIU is an independent organization, not a county agency. We do not oversee the MCIU's governance or finances. The Montgomery County Intermediate Unit is governed by a 22-member board of directors composed of school district representatives. The county's Department of Health and Human Services has utilized the MCIU as a contracted provider. We would be concerned by any reports of alleged misappropriation of funds by any provider. Our Controller's Office, which is our county's fiscal watchdog, would take the appropriate steps to determine if there was any misuse of county funding that occurred. And so that's the end of my comments. I'll turn it over to my colleague, Commissioner Makija. Thanks, everyone.
Sorry, just starting here. I'll just start by noting that we have an election coming up. So we've got an election in May on the 19th. It's our primary election in the midterms, less than 2 months. Our elections team, led by Frank Dean, is working very hard to make sure that we prepare our ballots. Candidates have had an opportunity to petition to get on the ballot. There will be a period in which the courts will entertain challenges in the coming weeks, and we hope that those will be cleared as quickly as possible, because in order for us to get the ballots out to the voters, we have to have a resolution in all the courts. So I say that because it's always a little bit of a tight timeline in the primary. We hope the legislature will change this so that we have more time to prepare and get people ballots early, but please look out for more information on when we get the mail-in ballots out, and if you haven't requested one and you want to vote by mail, please do so as soon as possible so that we can get your ballot out in the first batch of mail-ins. With that, I also want to acknowledge a conversation that's happening right now in Congress that is deeply concerning to election officials around the country. There's a so-called Save America Act being considered by the U.S. Senate that was passed by the U.S. House. The president has said it's his #1 priority. I want to make clear that from the perspective of election administrators, it would be completely unworkable for us to be asking all of our citizens, our residents, for their birth certificates or their passports, which is essentially what this bill would require at this time. Now, voter registration forms already require a driver's license or social security number, but one of the aspects of this bill would require that your name on the registration match your birth certificate. And for about 70 million married women, that is not the case, or not likely to be the case, because if you change your last name after getting married and you haven't gone through the procedures to change all of your documents, that there's likely a mismatch. And that could lead to the kinds of election litigation that we see when it comes to undated ballots and all of these issues where partisan actors try to come in and, depending on whether they think it'll help them or not, will try to throw out thousands, if not millions, of ballots. And none of that is good for our residents or citizens who have made every attempt to exercise their hard-won right to vote. So our county will be prepared to litigate if this bill does pass, because certainly we don't even have the resources to implement the kinds of burdens and requirements that are being suggested in this bill. And there are strong arguments that it is unconstitutional. If you think about the fact that we have a constitutional amendment against poll taxes and the idea that no one should have to pay any fee to exercise their fundamental right to vote, the idea that you would have to pay for a $165 passport in order to exercise your right is something that goes against the fundamental right to vote. And that's something that we take very seriously in our process. We want to make sure everyone in our county is able to exercise their rights. So stay tuned on that issue. Second, I wanted to note that we have a sticker contest for the I Voted sticker this year. It's something that you all, I hope in the county, when you exercise your right to vote, are proud to wear. For the first time ever last year, we actually put those stickers in the mail-in envelopes too, so people who are voting by mail did not miss out on that recognition. And what we'd like to do now is ask anyone in the county who wants to share their artistic skills to design an uplifting message, a visual sticker that up to 600,000 people might wear this coming election. Please submit your entry online to montgomerycountypa.gov/iVoted sticker contest. We're particularly trying to get high school students and young people to participate, but there's no strict requirement who can. So anyone who cares about promoting our democratic process and celebrating the right to vote should participate. And we'll see if any of us up here have some design skills, but I think we'll probably disqualified from being the winner of that contest. But second, I want to note that there's some great work happening to address housing affordability in the county. There was a recent article on what's happening in Narberth in terms of consideration of zoning amendments that could allow different housing options. And I live very close to Narberth. I'm not a NARB, I'm considered a NEARB, but it's a very contentious, yeah, you have to be very careful how you refer to yourself. But it's, when you walk down Haverford Ave, which is a main street in Narberth, there's still storefronts that are shuttered, and we want to see main streets across the county have great small businesses like the ones that we all just honored today. And part of that is making sure that there's a base of support for those businesses, including people who can live and walk to the main street, and that involves creating more housing options. So I want to commend all the borough council members and the mayor of Narberth for working on this issue. And there's a lot of great steps that have happened around the county, including in Ambler, in Conchie, around SEPTA stations, using SEPTA property to support transit-oriented development. And want to continue to commend all those officials that are working to address the cost of housing, which is one of the top issues facing residents across the county. And finally, to echo Commissioner Winder on the holidays, whether you're celebrating Eid, Passover, or Easter, want to wish you all happy holidays in the coming weeks. And although they're observed in many different ways across faiths and traditions, these spring holidays are really bound by enduring themes of renewal and hope, which are important for all of us. So that I'll turn it over to my colleague, Commissioner DeBello.
Okay. You guys covered a lot, so let's see. I'll go through just a couple other things. This week is Agriculture Literacy Week, which is all about trying to help kids get a better understanding of our food system. So there's many reading events that occur throughout Montgomery County. And I know Commissioner Weiner and myself, and I'm not sure if Commissioner McKeisha read it at all this year or not, but we tried to get to several schools and read to the students, and they're usually really good books about the food, food, different parts of food and learnings of food and all that. So it's a great opportunity for us to support agriculture throughout Montgomery County and beyond, and also the importance of understanding food and good food and all that stuff. I know, Commissioner White, you were reading at Paul Fly Elementary School this
Yeah,
week.
the book was hard this year.
Was it?
It was, I mean, they said it was a little bit of a tough one, but it was good. Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, I was supposed to read yesterday, and I got tied up in another meeting, but I know Ann Gruber from our planning commission. Is Ann here? Is she here anywhere? No? And Kim, my assistant, stepped in, and they carried the torch and read to the students, and they had a lot of fun doing the activities and all that. So I want to thank them for going in my place and continuing on with what we're trying to do in Montgomery County and support these programs. It's always a lot of fun. Other thing is, Monco, I want to do a big shout out to our Montgomery County Public Safety. I want to highlight a couple county resources that many may not know about. Our Department of Public Safety operates both a hazmat team and an urban search and rescue team. Each team is composed of about 30 highly trained responders who serve as resource to our municipalities when dealing with unusual and complex emergencies. In late February, our hazmat team spent over 3 hours supporting first responders in the Pottstown Borough with a major gas and carbon monoxide leak. And just last week, our urban search and rescue team assisted with a horse rescue in the Woodpane Township. Both teams train hundreds of hours every year and are on call 24/7 to keep Montgomery County safe. And they're always ready to go when we all were preparing for the big storms that were coming in. And we're lucky in Montgomery County. I think we fared out pretty well. But they were on call and they were ready to respond quickly if needed. So we want to shout out to them as well. And, as mentioned, we have several spring holidays coming on, and I know we're all waiting and anxious for spring itself. And it teased us last week when it got warm, but then it got cold again. But we're really looking forward to spring, and obviously we're looking forward to all the holidays, with Easter, Passover, and Eid coming up. I want to wish everyone happy holidays. And I know last week was St. Patrick's Day, so that's a week where we all turn Irish for a time, and as three commissioners, once again, we participated in the Conshohocken St. Patty's Day Parade. We had a lot of fun. It's just great to be out there. It's such a great crowd, and we really enjoyed the day. And so now we all go back to whatever nationality we are, but for a week we all like to be Irish. So again, so thank you for that. And I want to reiterate two other things. One is, as Commissioner Weiner mentioned about the IU, I've gotten several calls as well. We both served on the IU board when we were on our respective school boards. They do a lot of great work there, but as mentioned, we don't have any oversight with what happens at the Montgomery County IU, and whatever spending has occurred there, I'm sure will be reviewed by the IU board, which is made up of one representative from each school district in Montgomery County, which there's 22 school districts. So I know that more will come out, I would suspect, in the near future related to those expenses. But again, as a county, we have no oversight, no power or supervision of what happens at Montgomery County IU or any of the school districts throughout Montgomery County. And lastly, I know Commissioner McKeisha brought up about the STAVE Act that's being debated in Washington right now. Two things. One is that it's a lot more than just associated to voter ID, which probably 75% or more of the country supports and wants voter ID. but there's other aspects within that Save America Act. But more importantly, I've also learned when anything's being debated in Washington, however it starts, you never know what it comes out looking like. So we'll have to see if and how and what gets passed, and based on that, we'll all make a determination on how and if Montgomery County is impacted one way or the other.
Okay,
Thank you.
All right, we have two short presentations. Gideon Day, so Christine Laura, our Chief Public Defender.
Good morning, everyone. And good morning specifically to Commissioner Winder, Commissioner Makisha, Commissioner DeBello. Good morning. Yesterday, March 18th, was National Public Defender Day, or as I like to call it, Gideon Day. And every year we celebrate this specific day because exactly 63 years ago yesterday, on March 18th of 1963, the United States Supreme Court handed down a decision that changed the fabric of the American justice system in Gideon v. Wainwright. Before this landmark ruling, if you were charged with a crime at the state level and couldn't afford a lawyer, you were in most places expected to represent yourself. Clarence Earl Gideon, who you see up there in the top corner, was a gentleman with an 8th grade education who was expected to do just that in a Florida court, despite repeated requests to the judge that was overseeing his trial that he needed a lawyer. And he asked throughout those proceedings, and he was eventually convicted after proceeding pro se, which means alone. And from his jail cell, he hand wrote a petition to the U.S. Supreme Court. And in a shocking turn of events, because this doesn't happen often, especially on a pro se petition, the court agreed with him. They evaluated his request, and they decided that that Sixth Amendment right that was passed in the 1700s, in fact, should apply to the states through the 14th Amendment, and created the modern public defense system. A number of years later, in 1968, Pennsylvania established the Public Defender Act, and our office right here in Montgomery County was established. Just a fun fact on a personal note, I wrote my cover letter and applied to this job on Gideon Day, on the 60th anniversary of Gideon Day, which is true. It's actually like the first line. It felt like a sign. I saw that the posting was there. I was a career public defender. Montco is my home county. It's where I live, where I was raised, and I was like, I should be there. And it came to fruition. So although that I was not even here yet, I started in July of 23, but it's a special day for me. It always has been throughout my career. Next slide. And actually, because it's Women's History Month, and I did see all of these wonderful women that we celebrated in the county, I just can't go without saying that although Clarence Earl Gideon is the godfather of the public defense system, the real mother of the public defense system, she actually started the first PD's office in LA County in 1913. And not a lot of people talk about her, but her name was Clara Foltz. And well before Gideon, well before anybody was talking about this, one of the first female lawyers in the country, Clara Foltz, saw a weakness in the system. She saw a very well-funded prosecution. She saw people being taken into court and convicted and jailed without any help, and she knew that it was a problem, and she herself opened the first public defender's office in LA County, 1913. But after that, what's really amazing about Ms. Foltz is that she took the Foltz Act and went to 32 different neighboring states, and this is all before Gideon, and petitioned those states to open public defense systems there. So a lot of our early public defender offices were thanks to Clara Foltz, a groundbreaking revolutionary woman. In an era where we often see civic norms challenged and civil rights and liberties debated, disrespected, and often broken, the work of the public defender, I think, is more vital than ever. We are in essence the boots on the ground for the Bill of Rights. We are among the last true constitutional lawyers who stand up in courtrooms every day and advocate for the rights of citizens, ensuring that the government is held to its burden of proof. Next slide. And this brings me to something really monumental that we've done right here. Montco is really part of history, and I say this pretty much everywhere I go because we did something that was historic in this state. In the 2024-2025 cycle, this board made the decision to look at data and to apply the National Public Defender Workload Study and directly affect staffing in our office. It was totally historic. It was monumental. It has come to fruition, and we are seeing the fruits of that decision in the courtrooms right now in Montgomery County. I want to thank you again for that decision. By doing so, you didn't just invest in a department or in some employees, you invested in the integrity of our legal system here in the county, and strengthened the constitutional protections that our residents enjoy. So thank you for that. Next slide. When we speak, this is my staff, by the way, yesterday. Most of them, we're not all there. It's tough because we were in court, but you have our adult units, our juvenile delinquency unit, our child advocacy unit that represents dependent kids in the system. We are doing really, really great work. We celebrated yesterday our social service advocates. It is also National Social Workers Month, and we celebrated that on Tuesday. We celebrated them, our investigators, our administrative support staff, our lawyers. It is a team operation. We are really proud of the work we do. When we talk about Gideon's promise in our circles, we often talk about how it's unfulfilled. It started as an unfunded constitutional mandate, and I would be remiss if I didn't say that it was just last year that Pennsylvania joined as the 49th out of 50 states to put any state level funding towards public defense. We are still, it's been a centuries long battle to get towards a more equitable justice system. We are still so far away. A recent NYU study said that to fund public defenders throughout the country, so like all 50 states, there would need to be about $128 billion spent, and we're only spending across 50 states about $6 billion. So we are far away from where we should be, but we are taking steps in the right direction, and that's really how I would like to close this, to thank you for your leadership, for your support and your advocacy, and for showing and demonstrating, not just in word, but in action, that you are willing to guide us towards a more equitable system. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. You know, I almost forgot that we did make that investment. It feels like it was forever ago, but
We didn't forget.
just want to thank you for thank you for your leadership, and grateful for the team that you have assembled. There's folks that have been there for some time, folks that you've recruited to come here, and they're doing really, really important work. And I know that it's long days, long hours, sometimes a very thankless job, working with some tough populations, but I'm glad that you're leading the team to do it. So thank you for being here, and just wanted to acknowledge you.
Commissioner, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for your leadership and, yeah, leading a team that's doing extraordinary work and setting an example in the Commonwealth. And it's very clear that, I mean, to get to the point where we did support the proposal that you recommended took a lot of work and diligence in terms of actually explaining to all three of us, what it meant, the standard that we would be setting. And so that's credit to you for moving us to a place where that made sense.
Thank you, Commissioner. I appreciate that. Great.
Well, thank you, and, we're always asked, why we have public defender's office and why we funding it. And I think it's important for you to, when you came here today and talked about it, and it's because everyone is, has a do right process, right? They have that, and, we have to provide that for as a service, and it's a very important service from a county perspective. So I want to thank, for everything that you're doing and the whole department that's doing. And as mentioned, we were able to finally get, to a point where the department is getting, what having the necessary resources in place. So you guys, you're doing amazing work. So thank you for everything.
Thank you, Commissioner. I appreciate
I
it.
just want to call out just like something as simple as like the case, like your case management system, like the way you were doing it before was so archaic.
Wild,
And
yes.
it was wild, right, and inefficient. And so like you did really make the case for not only the people investment, but just systems and tools that better enable your employees to, to do their best
Absolutely.
work. So,
And thank you for that, because
Yeah.
the case management system has been life-changing.
Good.
So,
Well, thank you for being here.
Thank you, guys.
Next up, we'll acknowledge another important group in the county. This month is National Social Work Month. Vera, Deputy Administrator, Office of Mental Health, thank you for being here.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. Good morning, everyone. And thanks for inviting me to talk about March as National Social Work Month. We want to briefly highlight the incredible work social workers perform across Montgomery County. Next. This is not just about recognition. It's about understanding the impact these professionals have on our residents. This year's national theme is Uplift, Defend, and Transform. And in the words of the National Association of Social Workers, NASW, the theme honors the prime mission of social work profession: to enhance human well-being, meet the human needs of all people, and put special attention on needs and empowerment of people who are vulnerable, oppressed, and living in poverty. To understand why this recognition is important, let's take a quick look at the impact social workers have. There are over 810,000 social workers across the nation. And I'm going to guess that everyone here in some way or another has probably been impacted positively by a social worker. Whether it's you or a family member as you're in the hospital or at school, whether you're seeking support for an aging family member or a veteran, whether you need mental health or substance abuse interventions and support, if you need support around food stability or housing, anywhere basically that you think of a system or a program that helps individuals, there's most likely going to be a social worker there. And while many may recognize that direct service, that direct intervention that happens with individuals, many may not know that there's also a really cool part of social work that has a specialized training in system level, or what we call macro work. And that is what drew me to the field. We get to look at the big picture. We get to see policy. We get to understand and talk to community members to see the needs and also the strengths that a community has, so that we can organize and figure out ways to fill gaps within the system, or to create policy change in order to address those community needs. There are many social workers, in fact, in the county's own HHS, Health and Human Services, that lead the way in positive transformation. In fact, our very own Pat McKernan is the director of HHS, and she was named PA's Social Worker of the Year in 2023. Social workers are woven into the fabric of the community, but not to overwrite the beautiful pattern that exists. It's to help, to uplift, to build on those strengths, to elevate the community so that we can be even more resilient and strong together. The next slide. Thank you. The national theme of Uplift. One more slide, sorry. I was not correctly telling you when to switch those slides. Apologize. The national theme of Uplift, Defend, and Transform aren't abstract ideas. Social workers put these principles into practice every day. They uplift by connecting individuals and families to care. They provide support to a wide variety of areas so people, and in turn, communities, can flourish. They defend by advocating for vulnerable residents and at protecting rights at individual and policy levels. And we transform by designing effective programs, improving service pathways, and leading systems to change to be more responsive to the community around us. Thanks so much for taking the time today to highlight the importance of social work and celebrate all the amazing accomplishments that have occurred with the support of social workers. Recognizing their efforts elevates the profession, and it encourages future practitioners. So if there's anyone around here today or listening online that has not decided on their career pathway, but really wants to make a difference and improve the lives of the community around them, then I would seriously consider the career of a social worker. It is a fascinating, fulfilling, and impactful career. Thank you to the board for your continued support of this essential workforce.
Great, thank you. And this is probably a trick question. Do you know how many social workers we employ in the county?
We actually have 64.
64.
Yes.
Great. Well, we are grateful to you and all of them. Sorry, I'll get it. For the work that you do day in and day out. I often think about, like, my parents spent a lot of time going back and forth from the hospital when my mom was ailing, and it was really that social worker that helped us connect all of the dots and make sure that we had the supports that we need. So I know you all are doing important work. So thanks for being here to tell us a little bit about it. Thanks.
Appreciate it.
All right. Anything? Yep. Okay. All right. Next up, public comment. This section of public comment, because I see a few new faces here. Limited to 3 minutes, and speakers must comment on items that are appearing on today's agenda that the commissioners will consider at this meeting. So that's items E through K. So who do we have for public comment?
Mike Mascarelli.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Thank you.
Yeah. Just state your name and where you're from.
Mike Mascarelli, Conshohocken, Pennsylvania.
Okay, great.
You're probably looking at the one person in this room that may be 10 times worse than Hitler. We have a situation that back in the beginning of the 2024 election, if we know that 6 million Jews were exterminated.
Mr.
Really quickly.
Mascarelli, does this relate to anything that's
Yes, it
being
does.
acted
It
on by
does.
the board
It does,
today? Can you identify what that is,
Here's my issue. We have a situation where on March 5th, this commission indicated a resolution that says
Mr.
we would not.
Mr. Mascarelli, is there something on today's meeting? There's a
Yeah,
general
it's
public
an
comment
act-
later for
it
general
has a reference
matters.
to a award of contracts for ICE.
That
On
was
March
last,
fifth.
that was last meeting. So we'll hear what you have to say. You'll have your
Okay.
full 3
On
minutes,
March-
but we'll do that in the next public comment section, okay? If you don't mind. Yeah.
So I can just basically say, March 5th, you passed a
Nope,
resolution?
nope. We're gonna have you sit down.
General public comment
And you-
section
then you
where
can
you
share
can
what you need
discuss
to-
that matter.
Okay, thank you. Next up.
Joe Rooney.
So are you.
Okay, we're not gonna do that here,
Don't sit there and call me names.
okay? Sir, please,
Joe Rooney.
Mr. Rooney. I got you. I'm gonna ask that everybody keep their comments professional, calm, say what you need to say. Go ahead, Mr. Rooney.
Joe Rooney, I live in Abington, and it's item B1. First, Tom, I apologize for what was just said. That's uncalled for. We hear a lot about affordability. B1's about buying 5 vehicles for the DA's office. So I don't exactly understand why they have to do that. That's neither here nor there. But there's 3 vehicles, a Chevy Traverse, Chrysler Pacifica, and Dodge Durango. First question is, how come we have to have 3 different kinds of vehicles? Second one is, I looked online, this is $210,000 roughly for the thing. And that's about $40,000 to $45,000 depending on the vehicle. And the MSRP, if I look it up online, is less than that. So maybe there's some special equipment because it's government purchase, I don't know. That's not explained as far as I could tell. But we talk a lot about affordability. We talk about how the county's increased our taxes from 2020 to 2026 by 55%. And look how the last 2 presenters had all this manpower increase and these different workers. So maybe we could buy some slightly used vehicles at about 50% of the cost. They just looked up online, a few of them. So I don't know if anybody looks into that or not, but everybody knows the day you drive a new vehicle off the lot, it's a used vehicle and it loses about 10% of its value. So you can buy some 2023 vehicles for basically $20,000 to $25,000. And they all have 26,000 miles, 34,000 miles. And anybody here would probably look at that. So I'm just asking that the county might consider that. I don't know about procurement. I don't know about any of that. But if we can save 5 vehicles, $20,000 a vehicle, and get something that has 25,000 miles on it, it does take a little legwork to figure it out, but it also saves us $100,000. And it's just a suggestion as we hear about affordability, and everybody's paying their taxes right now for the federal level, and most of us have all gotten our county or township tax in also when we're all being hit by tax increases. And just for Abington Township, we have a 33% increase in our township taxes. We have a 23% increase over the last 2 years in our school taxes. So if we could save $100,000, maybe we could look into that.
Thank you for your
very much.
suggestion. And just on, I can't speak for the specific vehicles, we can look into that. But I know for the DA, a lot of his vehicles are customized for the detectives. So they're not just like off the lot vehicles, but we'll look, good suggestion.
Thank you.
Next up.
David Morgan.
Morning, Commissioners. I'm David Morgan from Ambler, and I'm going to comment about my agreement with Mr. Rooney on B1, that to reduce that cost if possible, but also look at B4. I know that safety in bridges is really important, but that increase of $1.222 million is of concern to me. The total value of that contract is $8.2 million. So that going from 7 to 8.2 is a large double-digit increase in that cost. And was it foreseen? Is it something that's just another stage, or can we watch for all construction projects that we're not seeing that hefty increase? And also I'm concerned about B6 with $144,000 about transporting various voting equipment, because we had in our Abington meeting a comment made about there's one station in the park which is 24 hours open. It concerns me for safety for anybody trying to vote in the wee hours in the morning in a park, and also maybe a parking lot that's pretty deserted. So these remote locations, we have to really see if we can economize and have them more safe and maybe not 24 hours. Sure. So those are areas of cost savings I could bring up as a taxpayer. We are getting our bills, as Mr. Rooney said, and you can look at that line A on your tax bill, try to catch it before it goes to a processor if you have it, your home being taxed. These bills related, if we had 4% as our last tax increase, we also had sort of a hidden 4% in terms of drawdown of 13 million. 12% is covered. So if you consider the 4% covers 12 million. If we had $1 million increase every meeting, was about 20 commissioner meetings a year, that'd be 20 million. We are increasing our costs. Now we have also some new positions, upgrades in our salary board. So you have to consider when you're voting on these, how much we can absorb these higher costs. We also have, let's see, I think else I could mention here, the new positions. Oh yeah, if anyone's retiring, with these new positions, if someone can fill that, a position like policy and assistant policy, those people know a lot about general operations. If they can find a new position and save us that cost, so we take what they've learned and can provide for us, then those positions can be reallocated and we can have a drawdown in the workforce in our county, which is a costly thing with pensions and with benefits. So all this affordability is really of our concern, and we can really look ahead, because last year we had 55 million over budget, and we have right now, I know, no CFO to manage all these things. And now we are at the quarter part of the year where the CFO gives a report about the budget.
Thanks.
I'd like to know how we're doing.
Thanks, Mr. Morgan. They're actively recruiting a CFO, and we have other measures in place to help us navigate the budget implications. Thanks. Next up. That's it? Okay. Next up, I'll move to approval of the minutes. I'd like to make a motion to approve the March 5th, 2026 minutes of the Montgomery County Board of Commissioners meeting. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner DeBello. Any board comment? Hearing none. Moving to a vote, all in favor? Aye. Motion carries. Next up, personnel, Anthony Brew.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
You should have in front of you the final copy of the personnel list. It is a 3-page document dated March 18, 2026. The timestamp at 10:02 a.m. All positions have been reviewed and accounted for your consideration.
Great. I'd like to make a motion to approve the March 19th, 2026 personnel presentation as given by Mr. Anthony Brew. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Makija. Any board comment? Hearing none. All in favor? Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Next up, advertisement of bids and RFPs, Montgomery County Exhibit A. I'd like to make a motion to approve the advertisements of bids and RFPs for Montgomery County on attached Exhibit A. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner DeBello. Any board comments? I just want to make a quick comment on the related bids. The county has been a part of the Regional Sustainable Energy Partnership of Southeast PA since 2020. This enables us to take a big step forward towards making our energy consumption across the collar counties more sustainable and cost-effective for our residents. So today, we're voting on an RFP that would enable Monco to issue an invitation to bid for solar energy projects on behalf of Chester, Bucks, Delaware County, and Montgomery County as a joint initiative. If the vote passes, we would then seek to procure a vendor to provide solar panel installation across our region. Between all 4 counties, there are 15 potential sites, all at county-owned facilities. If approved, this is another example of Monco with our collar county neighbors being a leader on the issues that impact the county and our region most. Do you have a comment on that?
Great. Yes, sir. So serving on the DVRPC board, Delaware Valley Regional Planning Commission, I got a sense from the staff of what's happening around the state, and this seems to be the first of its kind partnership that we should really be proud of. Working together as a region with the collar counties, we're going to deliver real lasting benefits to the county and all of our residents by investing in solar power and clean energy. So the long-term savings for us is about $11 million over 25 years, which is significant when you think of all the costs that we're trying to save on an annual basis. This will really add up and help us invest in other infrastructure needs that we have. It'll also give us more predictable energy rates in an increasingly unpredictable energy market. We all know this. If you look at your own PICO bill, energy rates have gone up significantly. The same is true for all county assets. And by investing in our own sources of energy, clean energy, we'll be able to have more predictability in terms of how much we're paying. And then finally, it shows continued progress to our leadership in cleaner, more sustainable county operations. We would love to get to a place where we are operating on 100% clean energy here in the county. We can do that through this solar initiative as well as the hydroelectric dam initiative on the Schuylkill. Together, that should be able to get us to a place of 100% renewable as we move forward.
Good, thank you. Any other comments?
We are going out for information, but we're not obligating anything at this time. So I myself will be really curious to see the RFP, the information that comes back, because I mean, sustainability is a great goal and concept, and I hope that we're able to get there. But I also look at it from a business standpoint to make sure that the ROI is there, and we're not just using county funds. There has to be a payoff at the end from savings. So I'm really excited to see what information comes back, and then we'll be in a better position to decide how we move forward, I believe.
Okay. And one more thing on item 3, there's a recycling center RFP. So that this RFP, this would create a pathway for Montgomery County to build its own recycling drop-off center. something our residents across the county have asked for and wanted for a very long time. You see a lot of our state reps and municipalities have recycling events. We currently offer 6 household hazardous waste collection events each year, and the demand continues to be incredibly high. So this would provide one location where our residents can recycle a wide range of items that are otherwise hard to recycle. We are pursuing a grant from DEP that could cover up to 80% of the cost of this assessment that we're doing. So, all right, I guess that's enough comment for now. Moving to a vote, all in favor? Aye. Motion carries. Next up, awards of contract, Montgomery County, Exhibit B. I'd like to make a motion to approve the contracts, awards, amendments, and renewals for Montgomery County on attached Exhibit B. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Makija. Any board comment?
Just 2 quick comments. One is, we heard early on some comments related to some of the awards, including the vehicles. I do want to mention the vehicles themselves. We're getting them off the CoStar's list, so we're actually getting savings already. We're not paying, lot prices. And a lot of the vehicle replacements, this was part of a multi-year rotational plan as well. So it is, all suggestions are always considered, but necessarily buying used isn't, as good as buying, but we get savings right up front. So buying those 5 vehicles, we're not paying what people going off the street to pay, because if you're familiar with CoStars, that's at the state level where government agencies are able to buy different types of equipment and all through a whole bid process that occurs. So it's really great pricing. So we do take that very seriously, understanding the costs and taxpayer money. And also, I know there's a couple change orders in this today associated to the Justice Center. I know that this has been a hot topic for a while, and as 3 commissioners, we are certainly not happy with where we're at, and we are trying to pursue to get this project done as fast as possible. It is running late. It's over 2 years late. We've talked about this at previous meetings. We are not happy. We don't agree with a lot of where things are at this point in time. But on the flip side of it, we have to get the project done. We're kind of limited in saying, well, we're just going to stop here. That's not an option. But we will be, as mentioned also in previous meetings, we are pursuing, in the future, we'll be pursuing, there's processes that you go through when you deal with contractors that don't meet timelines and delivery schedules and other things, and we'll be pursuing all avenues to address the overruns, overschedule, and all those things as well. So we are on top of it. We are very upset. I know probably angry in a lot of instances is a good word to say as well, but we're going to do what we can to get this project done, and then do what's necessary to recoup the overspend in the future. So I just wanted to mention that as well.
Thank you. Moving to a vote, all in favor? Aye. Motion carries. Next up, awards of contract, Southeast PA Regional Task Force, Exhibit C. I'd like to make a motion to award the contract awards, amendments, and renewals for Southeast PA Regional Task Force attached to Exhibit C. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner DeBello. Any board comment? Hearing none. Moving to a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Next up, general public comment. 3 minutes. Must be germane to county business. And I'm going to ask everybody to be respectful in their comments. I don't want to see anyone disrespecting any of my colleagues here. We can disagree, right, on whatever your comment is, but let's keep the temperature down. So first up, Mike Mascarelli. Okay, Mike, you're up. Go ahead.
On number 6, the transport of polling to the new locations, I'm curious, it was my understanding that on March 5th, there was a resolution to not involve ICE with anything going on in the county, but I'm curious why on March 11th, they held a forum at the Montgomery County Public Safety, and I'd like to know what that involved, if it involved anything with election equipment, moving election equipment, any of that.
I'm not even,
Yeah, we'd have to look
aware
into
of what
that.
you're talking about.
But again, so as far as the resolution that took effect March 5, does that have any teeth to identify what they're doing?
I don't know what I don't know what you're referencing.
Well, again, the resolution, I believe, states that in those, that no public property for Monco could be used to support ICE. But apparently, on March 11th, less than a week later, they're there holding a big forum at the Maricopa County
Maricopa County?
Montgomery County Public.
So we'll look into it,
Please.
and we can get back to you. We have to do a little research, but thanks for your
Yeah.
comment.
Again, these people are out of control, and they need to
Okay.
be.
Thank you.
Next up, Fred Standard. I'm sorry, that's.
What is your first name again?
Fred Standard.
Okay.
Madam President, Commissioners, I represent ABATE, Montgomery County. I am a resident of Upper Moreland. ABATE is Alliance of Bikers aimed towards education. We are a statewide group. We're a national organization as well. We're here to promote public safety as far as motorcycles are concerned. Now, what I would like to propose is to have the commissioners proclaim the month of May as the Motorcycle Awareness Month. It's something that has been done for many years up at the State House on the steps there. I would like to let the bikers know that here in Montgomery County, we are recognized and that we do a proclamation for that month.
Okay. Yeah, happy to look into doing that. And can you leave your information with our board secretary, Yvonne?
Yes, I'll give it to her
Okay.
after the meeting.
Yep, thank you for your comment. Thanks
You're
for
welcome.
being here.
Thank you.
Yep.
Mark Height.
Hi, Mark.
Good morning. My name is Mark Height. I'm a resident of Limerick Township and a member of the Royersford Baptist Church, which is in Upper Providence Township. And we are a proud member of the Power Interfaith Network, and I'm here to speak to you as part of a group from Power Interfaith. I bring an additional perspective in that since January of this year, I've been serving on the Limerick Township Planning Commission. There's probably not much about data center development I could tell you that you haven't already heard. But here's the thing. People in our township see these things coming at warp speed, and they are upset. At our January meeting, I listened to dozens of people during the public comment period. These were not unhinged people. They presented well-researched concerns about the effects on electricity costs, power transmission disruption, water availability and quality, environmental issues, noise, wildlife habitat destruction, and decommissioning concerns. They were upset because they felt their government was just letting this development happen, and they were asking us to do something. We've had to move our next meeting to a larger venue because we're expecting maybe hundreds of people. No surprise to you to hear that there's not much local governments are empowered to do. We're required under the state constitution to provide zoning for every type of use. Limerick Township has a data center ordinance, which is better than not having one. I suspect the ordinance was drafted to make development pretty easy. That's a topic for another venue. The point is that if a developer shows up with a proposal that complies with the ordinance, the township has to say yes. We have one application on the books. Reading the tea leaves, it would not surprise me and many others to see 2 more, maybe more than that, 3 data centers in a tight radius in Limerick Township, right across the river from a fourth at Pennhurst in Chester County. So we in Power Interfaith know that you don't have, you're not vested with the power to deal directly with this either. It's going to require action at the state level, the state house and Senate and the governor's office. That's going to take time during which these developers can just push their proposals through and start building. So we're asking you to publicly support a statewide moratorium on data center development in order to give legislators at the Commonwealth level the time, the breathing space to develop and enact policies that truly address the need for sustainable economic development, concerns about energy demand and cost, environmental protection, and community impact. A lot of people are watching all of us. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. A couple things. We are spending a lot of time as a county just learning about data centers. We've got, Davey, who just did a program with Chester County and Montgomery County, an educational program. You both were there to help educate local municipalities. So Davey, thank you for your leadership there. We also are working on model ordinance language for municipalities, so our planning commission is leading the way there. In terms of like a moratorium, I'll turn to our solicitor. What we are going to do is just at least provide residents the information and education that they need in order to understand both sides of the issue, right? But we know that data centers is local, which I appreciate you acknowledging. That's done at a municipal level. But we have talked as a team about doing some type of educational programming for residents because we see a lot of people getting their information on social media. There's a lot of misinformation out there. It sounds like you all have done your due diligence and research. But we're going to try to do our part to understand the issue and help educate residents. So I know it's a hot topic. On the moratorium, I don't know if our solicitor has any comment
So
there.
we don't have authority under Pennsylvania law to enact such a moratorium.
But yeah, I guess you're suggesting to lobby our state. So,
Which again, in terms of education, both of residents and work that the county might do. Otherwise, that's at commissioner's discretion, but
Right.
on the legal aspect, we don't have the authority to
Yep, I
do it.
gotcha.
Those zoning decisions are
Yeah.
at the municipality
just
level.
wanted you to, I'm not a lawyer, but I tell you all the time I could play one on TV. So I just always want to check. But thanks for all that you're doing, and keep us posted on the programming that you're doing. And we're committed to convening and trying to understand the issue for all of Montgomery County residents.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is this is happening so fast.
I know.
There's no time
Yeah.
for anybody to respond to it.
I understand.
It's all going to be done before
And-
anybody can do anything unless the state decides to put up a moratorium.
Yeah, and I'm sure you're lobbying the delegation as well.
Appreciate
So,
whatever help you can.
Yeah, okay. Okay. Next up.
Marilyn Joygensen.
Hey, Marilyn.
Good morning. My name is Marilyn Jorgensen. I live in Audubon. I'm also here with the Power Interfaith St. James UCC in Limerick. And I'm opposed to the data centers and AI build-out coming to Pennsylvania as well. I know you just said you have limited ability, but I'm hoping that this Board of Commissioners and the state of PA will take steps to protect me and other Pennsylvanians from big tech's takeover of our communities and economy. We're all really scared, and we don't want our children to say, why didn't you do something? We don't want to become like Data Center Alley in North Virginia, one of the largest concentration of data centers in the world. Some towns are running out of water and jacking up the electricity prices by 267% since 2020. These centers use as much electricity as 60% of all households in the state of Virginia. How can we do that in Pennsylvania? We can't. We are ranked around 45th for states using renewable energy. I was happy to see that was on your agenda today. We need to invest in renewable energy in PA. South Dakota is a leader. They have 89%. Pennsylvania is at 3 to 5%. That is sad. That is really sad. We need to make an investment. I lived in Hawaii for a couple years. I had solar on my house. My electric bill went down to almost zero. I had a special switch for hot water. I had a special switch for the house. And we had tax incentives. Hawaii is at 39%. Pennsylvania, we can do much better than that. We should be concentrating on tax incentives for renewable energy, not tax incentives for big tech data centers. My main objection, though, is the effect on the climate. We'd have to use fossil fuels and water for these centers. Climate change is here, and we are not taking it seriously. We just had to dismiss school early Monday for tornado warnings. Tornado warnings. We never had those when I went to school in the 80s. What's happening? This isn't a joke. We had terrible thunderstorms last summer. To be honest, everyone's excited for spring to come. I'm not. What's going to happen this summer? Those thunderstorms were scary. We're supposed to be decreasing emissions in our atmosphere, not adding them. I'm humbly asking you, the County Board of Commissioners, even with your limited capacity, to do whatever you can to say yes to renewable energy and no to fossil fuel burning data centers. We have already breached the first major climate change in 2025.
Thank you for your comment. Thank you.
Susan Myers.
My name is Susan Myers. I'm a registered voter in Montgomery County, and I live in Upper Frederick within a 7-mile radius of the proposed data center. I'm a member of St. James and also a member of Power Interfaith. I share the same concerns regarding the proposed massive data center in Limerick, and I'm deeply concerned about the environmental footprint with the increased use of fossil fuels, the strain on the energy grid with massive demand of electricity. There's neighbors whose rates are going sky high already without the demand of a data center. There's a tremendous draw of, could be up to 1 million gallons of water a day. We are having extended droughts now, so what effect is this going to have on our water supply? There will be tremendous noise pollution from massive generators and dozens of huge refrigerator units on the rooftops, which will run 24/7. My husband doesn't think he'll hear it, but I think I will hear this if I can hear a train whistle that's 15 miles away. I will be affected by the air pollution from the toxic emissions from the diesel-fueled turbines. What will be the impact on the property values of the surrounding homes and the businesses right across the street? The proposed site is in a rural area with an inadequate infrastructure. Will the cost of the upgrades to this infrastructure be passed on to the tax residents? These are not hypothetical problems or things that I've read on the internet. They're real ones that are occurring in the existing 71 data centers that are already in Pennsylvania, and there are 50 more proposed centers at this point. There is no regulatory framework and statewide standards. They need to be put in place to ensure there is environmental sustainability and protection of our resources, to ensure that there is grid reliability and the data centers are energy efficient. The development of clean energy sources needs to be promoted, and there needs to be transparency and accountability in the planning and operation of these data centers. Developers know that these centers are unpopular, so they're signing non-disclosure agreements so that no information is known until it's almost too late for the residents to act. This is totally unacceptable. It is our health, our lives, our families, and our homes that will be impacted. And we have a right to know what is happening and the time to react and act. So I'm asking that you support the call for a statewide moratorium and do whatever you can. I know you don't have the power to do it yourselves, but to support and have the county support the state in calling for a moratorium. Commissioner Winder, you said that you wanted to work to make Montgomery County the best place to live, work, and raise a family. And it certainly won't be that in the areas where these data centers are to be developed.
Thank
so
you.
I would appreciate any help and support you could give.
Thank you.
Peggy Greenfield.
Good morning, I think still, Commissioners. My name is Peggy Greenfeld, and I'm a resident of Lower Marion Township, pardon me, where I've lived for more than 30 years. My congregation is the Narberth Havarah, which is also located in Lower Marion Township and also in Narberth Borough. We meet in different churches, actually. My synagogue is also a member of Power Interfaith, which is, as others have spoken, it's a multiracial, multi-faith, statewide organizing coalition of over 50 congregations working toward economic and racial justice on a livable planet. I'm speaking here today because of my grave concern about a proposal for an AI data center to open in Limerick Township. While I don't live in the immediate vicinity of Limerick, I am extremely concerned that the potential harms that this data center can cause will indeed reach and affect me in Lower Marion. I've been following the emergence of data centers throughout the country and the resistance and opposition thereto, which has made me aware of the following potential risks posed by the data center. First, a major drain on our power grid, leading to astronomical increases in our utility bills, particularly electric bills, as well as increases in power outages and just lack of access to power during heavy surge times, as well as depletion of our water supply and risk of its contamination. I fear that our government at all levels is allowing the AI data centers to proliferate with little to no assessment of the damage and harm they will likely cause to both the Limerick community and throughout this county. This reminds me of the way that fracking of natural gas got pushed through locally and at the state level without first assessing the potential harmful effects, which we now know or actually came to fruition. I urge you, as representatives of our county, to use your voice, your relationships, and your resources to speak on behalf of the interests of all citizens of Montgomery County, especially the interests of Limerick Township residents, and convey to people at all levels of power in the state and local government, including and especially our governor, my concerns and all the other concerns of others about the risks of skyrocketing utility bills and depletion of our water resources posed by the proposed data center in Limerick. Please, please do what you can to slow this barreling train down. This means speaking loudly to anyone you know about the need to pause the onslaught of these data centers. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. Laura Walters?
Good morning, and thanks for this opportunity. I've never spoken publicly before, and I appreciate the opportunity. My name is Laura Walters, and I've lived in Montgomery County for most of my life. I lived with my husband of 61 years and a 72-year-old sister in Providence Forge, a community, a townhouse community in Upper Providence Township. These homes were built back in the 1970s. In 2023, my husband and I purchased our townhouse, a small 3-bedroom, modest townhouse, and we totally updated it, put in new systems and energy-efficient appliances. We intended this to be our final home, but today we're no longer sure that that's really possible. The problem is the electric bills, just as we spoke of. Our electric bills have become unmanageable, not just because of major changes in our usage, but because of the escalating costs being passed on to consumers by PECO. On February 12th of 2026, our electric bill for a home less than 2,000 square feet was $814.14. They're unmanageable. Our usage, however, when we checked and compared it to a year ago, was only 51 kilowatt hours higher than the same period in 2025. And also, I might add that this is with a locked-in discounted rate, so it was not UCO's actual rate. As an example, in October, this is how things are escalating and getting out of control. In October of 2025, our electric bill was $148.48, pretty manageable. November, it went up, got colder, $219.04. In December, got a little bit colder, but we doubled. We were now at $484.38. In January, let's go up again, $660.82. February, we reached a peak, $814. So this has a community impact. I'm not alone. I have neighbors in
ma'am, your time is
smaller
up.
units.
I'm sorry, ma'am, your time is up. Sorry. We're giving
Okay.
everybody 3 minutes. I'm sorry.
Good morning. My name is Gary Sealing. I live in Ambler Borough, and I'm also here with Power Interfaith. I go to a church in Lansdale, which is called the Renew Community. We've been in participation with Power doing a survey on justice issues that affect people in our congregation, as well when we're doing this with 2 other congregations in our area. And to my surprise, the second highest issue on the list has been this topic around data centers. It's essentially tied with people's concerns about caring for their elderly relatives, which I think is basically a ubiquitous topic. Second, I also have a kind of a unique vantage point on this. Vocationally, I'm a software engineer for a life sciences company in the area. I'm a leader on a team that has a group that has about 200 people in it, and so we've tested a lot of the AI tools to see kind of how this impacts our day-to-day work. So I get a lot of private feedback from people as they're testing these tools. And one of the things which I have discovered is that a lot of people hearing these concerns from family and whatnot are just privately either refusing to use the tools or limiting what they can. So I think that we may be thinking about the economic impact potentially in the wrong way. It's to the extent that it does help people, it's something that if people are unable to use the tools because of these concerns, then there's a serious issue there. And I would also just remind everyone that as a person who lives in Ambler, we have a very visible representation of ignoring a historical environmental issue. We have a Superfund site in the middle of town that's been there forever, and we'll probably be there for the rest of the time. So I think this is one where we want to get ahead of it. So I would concur with the previous ask for a moratorium on data center construction. Thank you.
Thanks for your comment.
Jim Molick?
Hi, Jim. Go ahead.
Can I hand this to you?
Sure. Oh, thank you. Sure. Yep, gotcha. Go ahead. Yeah.
Malik Worcester. There's nothing in the Constitution that requires free speech be respectful and calm, nor does it say you can't call people names. I'm a free speech kind of absolutionist kind of guy.
That's fair.
So I think you need to review the Pennsbury free speech case, Eastern
I'm just
District.
asking for decorum in this.
No,
Yeah, that's all I'm asking.
I get where you're coming from.
Yep.
But what I'm saying is it's not enforceable under Pennsbury. According to 8 U.S.C. 1325, it's a criminal offense, misdemeanor, to enter or attempt to enter the United States without authorization, punishable by a fine and imprisonment. These individuals are called illegal aliens. The term unconditional or undocumented is not found in the statute. Ms. Winder, you referred to ICE's actions as an unwanted.
It's
federal
Winder.
Winder.
It's Winder.
Invasion, Winder, unlawful federal invasion. What is that? What's an unlawful federal invasion? Where can I find that definition or that law? Both you and Mr. Makisha stated it's about protecting constitutional rights and the rule of law. You both seem to have forgotten the supremacy clause of the Constitution, which states federal law takes precedent over conflicting state law, which you have here right now. You took an oath to support, obey, and defend the Constitution. A violation of that oath is a misdemeanor punishable by a fine, jail time, and removal from office. I suggest you read that. Mr. Makija talked about Alex Preddy, the guy who brought a concealed weapon to a protest and who was filmed cursing at federal agents, spitting on one of them, and then kicking the taillight out of a federal vehicle. You appeared to use this case to justify your non-cooperation with the federal government. I ask did you see the video of the Norristown police officer who rammed a naked guy in the middle of the street? Did you cut ties with that police department because of that incident? Did you defund that police department? Did you pass an ordinance to not coordinate with that police department because of that officer's actions? I don't think so. You said you want to use every tool at your disposal to make sure residents of the county are safe, except the tool to remove violent, criminal, illegal aliens. How many illegal aliens are in Montgomery County right now? How many illegal aliens with a history of violent crime are there in Montgomery County right now? How many children are being child trafficked by illegal aliens in Montgomery County right now? Removing illegal aliens is for the safety of the people of Montgomery County. So you're looking at it kind of the wrong way. So I would say...
Your time's up. Thank you.
Return your money to the federal government.
Your time is up. Thank you.
Brian Hanlon.
Good morning. I'll first say I want to shout out to my wife's woman-owned business, Yoga Home in Conshohocken. Thank you for running all the
Great place. Yeah.
women-owned businesses. I'm here to talk about funding for Meals on Wheels. I wanted to share two quick stories. I shared an email with you guys last week. One is a gentleman in his 70s with MS who has a dog. It's his only daily companion. He is lifelong veterinarian, retired. He could not find another one. I go to his house once a week. I was able to find a friend from college who's a veterinarian nearby, and he's now providing free veterinarian services at this guy's house throughout the year. Another one is a woman of color, and she and I have had discussions about her life experiences. And I mentioned I'd been to the Equal Justice Initiative museums in Montgomery, Alabama. And this conversation, one thing led to another. I got her some books from there. We had some powerful conversations. She shared it with her sister in Pittsburgh, who shared it with her church, who shared it with the congregants, and they have weekly conversations about it. This is just another example of how this in-person need for this interaction with the seniors is so important. I'm concerned about Montgomery County Office of Aging considering cutting or reducing Meals on Wheels for frail homebound seniors in the coming fiscal year as a cost-saving measure. I feel this would be short-sighted and miss many opportunities Meals on Wheels provides to local employers, employees, volunteers, and recipients. During the month of March, many of the Meals on Wheels providers invite stakeholders to deliver meals with them and see firsthand the value of this service. I encourage all of you to take advantage of this opportunity and hear from clients and volunteers regarding the value of this program. You're welcome to join me Wednesday mornings in Conshohocken or any of the other Meals on Wheels programs.
Thank you. Thanks for volunteering with Meals on Wheels.
Joe Rooney.
Mr. Rooney.
Hi, Joe Rooney in Ardsley. First off, I hope everybody will remember our troops are serving over in the Middle East. I know there's plenty of people from Montgomery County. My kids are on active duty, but they're not over there right now. But I know there's a lot of parents of Marines who are heading that way that are nervous. So God bless all of them, and thank you for their service. The second one is Women's History Month. But once again, I'm hoping somebody will say our mothers and wives do an unbelievably crucial job. Moms are at work every single day at home, raising our next generation, volunteering in our schools, volunteering everywhere else. And God bless them, and thank them for all that they do. They make our country great. Along that same line, like that gentleman just talked about, what I'm hoping is everybody remembers Alicette Schubert. Alicette Schubert, murdered by an illegal alien in Rockledge within the last month, okay? This is what our ICE agents are trying to do to keep us Where's our immigrations officer? I don't know. Hopefully we'll rename it the Alicet Schubert Immigration Office, trying to protect our next person from getting murdered by an illegal alien. All right. The SAVE Act, it's an 80-20 issue, protect our votes. And Neil didn't say it, it's not that long, it's only been passed by the House. You can read it, it's 5 pages long. The whole idea is to make sure that everybody in this room, if you're an American citizen, your vote's not stolen by somebody who shouldn't be voting. And they are voting right now. Finally, what I wanted to talk about also was last Sunday, I attended an event that was attended by most of our row officers. It was at Bethlehem Baptist Church in Springside. I hope I have that right. And it was kind of concerning for me. I'm a retired Marine with 23 years. My wife is 24 years. 4 of our kids have served. And this gentleman was there. I'm getting filmed right now. He was there. So I have to tell you, it was the most, and I don't know if you gave permission for this because you weren't there, Commissioner Winder, but your picture was focused on the center of the altar of this thing. And I'm not sure.
I was celebrating my stepdaughter's birthday, so
I'm not sure what it was, but in any event, that was centered there. And I don't know how such a partisan political event is appropriate for a sanctuary of a church, but nonetheless, it was there. And I will tell you, it was the most anti-American event that I think I have ever been to. Now, I haven't been to an anti-ICE event, or I haven't been to a Antifa event, and maybe our friends in the Democratic Party are used to it, but it was also incredibly anti-Catholic. And all of our row officers were there, okay? It actually got so bad that the sheriff, Mr. Kilkenny, and the mayor of Ambler, Ms. Sorg, actually walked out, but none of the rest of them did. And I left stunned. I went home, I told my wife, I've told many people.
Thanks, Mr. Rooney.
Okay.
David Morgan.
Thank you.
David.
David Morgan of Ambler. I am concerned about data centers as well, and the one thing I think with all the water usage, maybe we have to limit it to the Delaware Bay and near Erie, Pennsylvania, where there's a lot of water all over the place, and so anywhere else, I think to tax the water is difficult. Sometimes at events, I beg for rain, I pray for rain, because we've had low rain. We had 40 days of no rain about last fall, the fall before, 2024. So Florida was really dry lately, and I was just down in Florida, so I missed last meeting. But it was good to go down there, and being down there, I swam in pools in the ocean. But I noticed in the airport there, a concern I mentioned before is human trafficking, and there was oral announcements in the airport, Fort Lauderdale, about this issue. So be on the lookout for it occurring. And there was a sign posted too that mentions a program called Blue Campaign. Get informed, DHS.gov Blue Campaign. So I didn't follow up in researching that much, but so you're aware as county commissioners that it's a safety concern for our children, children from abroad who might be brought into America, to really keep in mind the safety of these people who are affected by that. Sometimes it's an employment situation, there's other reasons for human trafficking, but we have to really address this. There has been a county observance of early in the year, so it was a special month like February or January, but I think we really have to know more. And so it's neat to hear about the Hall and Istics business, which helps women after birth. I support that a lot. I have to find out more about them. We're honored today at the meeting. It's also nice to know that Monco Mamas acts as a social work agency, that they help people with better outcomes as pregnancy resources centers do. They help having the children up to 5 years old with supplies and helping the fellowship and helping women have leads to jobs and housing. So as the county's interested in housing, I think that's also a really good reason why we have our brochures. I think there might be some still from HHS on the table, which is great. anyone coming to these meetings, know that there is an agenda there you can obtain, and also I look for the new positions in the listings there. You can find that information. So knowing that we mentioned also the Easter or Resurrection Day holiday, there's also coming up Palm Sunday, Holy Thursday, and Good Friday. I wish all those who observe that a blessing in that, and thank you, commissions.
Thanks, Mr. Morgan.
Jim Thomas.
Hi, Jim.
Hey, thanks very much for having me. Jim Thomas from Gwinnett. And first of all, this data center issue is very important. And we may need to rethink how we do the data centers. We may be able to have small computer systems put in our fireplaces where these data companies heat our houses for us. We may need to have small data center things that use our water instead of hot water heaters, to heat our water, and thereby providing internet for the individual people. We may have these data center computer systems installed near swimming pools so that they heat our swimming pools in the summertime and the wintertime, so that we can use the energy, because apparently it costs a swimming pool water to do one Bitcoin transaction. We really have to be cognizant of what's going on, and we may have to charge them if they're not providing services for us with this data center electricity and water requirement. They may need to be charged far more than we humans have to, because we does not provide our water and our electricity to these computer systems at the expense of humans. I also wanted to, so that's the that's the data center issue. Let's make it favorable for the individuals, especially in the rural counties. We have places that they don't have internet. Bring internet when they put these data center pieces in the fireplace of the elderly person living in the rural area, so that they can have internet as well. I wanted to make you aware, you're talking about COVID and things like that. I wanted to make you aware, I'm a former military officer, and I had to deal with infectious disease. I have in my hand a pill packet of 6 pills called nitazoxanide, trade name Alinea. These pills sell for $2 in foreign countries, and they stop the replication of measles, flu, Marburg, Ebola, smallpox. We have the medication that can be used for early treatment. $2 in foreign countries. In the United States, $1,200 for these 6 pills. You might be able to get it with insurance for $200. This is listed in Wikipedia as the broad-spectrum antiviral. This is important information. I just thought I'd come back here and let you know, and I'm working through the healthcare systems, the Health and Human Services in Pennsylvania and throughout the United States, to try to make sure that people are aware that there are alternatives. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your comment. That's all right. That's it for public comment. Okay. I'm on early dismissal pickup today,
Okay.
so
What time you
we're
got,
making
Lee?
good time. 12:20 is the pickup, so. All right, next meeting is April 9th at 10 a.m. In the boardroom. Any closing commissioner comments?
I just have 2 quick ones. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I didn't want to cut you off.
Just pick, yeah. whenever you
Okay.
go.
Just two quick ones. I do support, I think that's a great idea as the county possibly doing May as Motorcycle Safety Awareness Month. I recommend that we at least look into that, as you said. The reason I think May is a good month is because most motorcycles are off the roads through the late fall, winter months, and so people generally forget about motorcycle riders, and then in the springtime, you start to see more and more of them on the road, and that's when you see more accidents occurring, where you have vehicles hitting motorcycles. So I think anything that we can do to help support safety awareness around motorcycles would be a good thing. And then also, I do want to get more information about the understanding about the Meals on Wheels. I've been getting several phone calls in like the last week or two regarding that as well, so I want to really understand that a little bit further. And then finally, I want to recommend, as I mentioned, I think that as we are going into 2027 budget season, as well as we're looking at bringing in a new CFO, and we're also working on having other options available over the next month or two's backfilling or dealing with the county not having a CFO in place. I'd like to recommend to the commissioners to consider us putting together a team, an audit team of volunteers. We got a lot of experienced CPA, finance advisors and all that in Montgomery County. Probably some that are extremely experienced and who are retired that would definitely be interested in helping, where we could have them review the budget, even going back a couple of years and making recommendations, to us. I think it will be extremely useful. I think it will be a good avenue for us to consider. And I don't believe other counties have done something like this, but I think that we could be, we like to be out in the forefront of different things here in Montgomery County, and I think this would be one of those where we could put a team together, maybe 4 or 5 really experienced individuals that would be, provide, review, audit of our budget this year, last year, maybe previous years, and put forward some recommendations as well.
Okay. I know you've raised that, so,
Yeah.
yep, that's fair.
Yeah.
Comments?
I'm okay, actually. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you all for coming. Another productive, good meeting. I'd like to make a motion to adjourn the March 19th, 2026 meeting of the Montgomery County Board of Commissioners. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner DeBello. Any board comment? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Next up, Salary Board. All right, do we have any public comment for Salary Board? Okay. If everyone could just hold on a second, we have one more quick meeting. Invite Tony to review the Salary Board list. Oh, I'm so sorry. No, it's okay. Go ahead.
Good morning, members of the Salary Board. You have in front of you the final copy of the Salary Board list. It's a 4-page document dated March 18, 2026. The timestamp is 10:02 a.m. All positions have been reviewed and accounted for your consideration.
Okay. So I just want to make, I'd like to make a motion to approve the March 19th Salary Board presentation as given by Mr. Tony Brew. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner DeBello. Before we move to a vote, I want to wish Vince from our finance department. He's not here. I don't see him anywhere. He's retiring, and I want to wish him a happy and restful retirement. He's been our Deputy Director of Finance. He's served the county for 45 years. So I just want to commend him for all of his years of public service. And I think our colleagues put together a short video that we're going to show, and hopefully it's short, although we love Vince, to play on the screen. Are we ready for that? Not working?
There it was.
Hi, I just wanted to extend my congratulations to Vince on his announcing he's retiring. There's no question that the work we were able to do at the county would not have been possible without Vince's vast knowledge, understanding of the system, and willingness to really work to teach me all the things I would need to do the job that I was able to do at the county. I know he will be missed by the county and will definitely not be the same without him, and really appreciate all the great work he did and all the things he taught me my time there. Good luck, Vince.
And sorry I couldn't make it today. Work had me tied up.
but I did put together some remarks that I wanted to read to you. And I know we're still going to see each other in person, so can't do this off the top of my head. I'm going to read this to you, and then we'll catch up later. So Vince, as you step into retirement, I wanted to take a moment to share how much I've appreciated working with you over the years. I know I am speaking for many in the county family in saying how much your presence has meant to all of us. Many people don't realize you started your career when you could buy a cup of coffee for 50 cents. The average house price was $66,000, and a six-pack of Heineken cost $3.50. That's over 45 years ago. It's okay, just relax. I know it's hard to believe that you're retiring and you have to pay $4 for a good cup of coffee. Working with you has been one of those positive experiences where someone's professionalism, integrity, and generosity all come together in a way that inspires everyone around them. You've been a trusted resource and a great person to work with, qualities that are not only respected but deeply appreciated, particularly by me. It's impossible to express the full impact you had at the county. So much of what makes a workplace function well happens quietly and consistently. And you've been the one behind so many of those moments solving problems before they became problems, sharing your experience without hesitation and offering guidance in a way that always has been supportive. You've built long-lasting relationships, helped reshape the county finance processes, and left a mark on the organization that will continue long after you retire. With 45 years in the county, I know retirement marks a big transition for you. And while everyone will miss you in the organization, I'm also really happy for you. You've earned this time to shift gears, slow down a bit, and spend more time with your grandchildren, and extend that long list of world cruises. I don't know many people that have been on over 100 cruises in a lifetime. Please know your contributions won't be forgotten, and neither will the person behind them. You've been someone people rely on not only because they had to, but because they wanted to. That's a rare legacy, and one you should be incredibly proud of. Megan has me on the clock here, so I will sign off with this final thought. Thank you for everything you've done for the county and for the way you've done it. Please stay in touch. We can grab a cheesesteak for lunch anytime. I truly wish you the very best as you step into this well-earned chapter of your life. Take care, buddy.
So I'm a little misty-eyed on that.
How do you follow that up?
I know.
That's hard.
I hope you all do something like that for me when I retire. I have a little more time. All right, moving to a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Next up, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn the March 19th, 2026 meeting of the Montgomery County Salary Board. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner DeBello. All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. Meeting is adjourned. Thanks, everyone. I got to pick up my sorry.
That's all right. You can have your opinion.